Hello and welcome to the On Pointless Podcast. I'm your host, Curt. Our intro question for this week is, what is your favorite costume of all time? Stefan?
Well, I don't costume myself very often, approximately once a year. So, by default, I'm going to have to go with the Grim Reaper costume I wore for 8 Halloweens in a row, from ages approximately 8 to 16. I guess that would be 9 times in a row.
Very specific and approximate at the same time. Chris?
I thought we were doing costumes of like famous people or like superheroes. So I thought, because Superman is Superman, so his Clark Kent costume, which is just him with glasses on, would be my favorite costume. If I did my own personal costume, when I was very young, my mom dressed me up as Popeye, and she made me little biceps and forearm muscles. So that was pretty adorable. And I really haven't dressed up for anything in like the last 20 years. So
nice. And Kirsten?
My favorite costumes are always when the little kids are dressed up. Like when the parents put in so much effort with the little kids. They like make a little walker and it's a little old lady or man. Or there was this picture going around the internet of a little girl dressed as a sushi and it was so cute.
And then the parents like somehow get in on the costume too so that they're involved. That's always good.
Yes, group costumes.
Oh, the 2 parents could be chopsticks.
Exactly.
And everybody they walk up to, they can be like, "What's up, B?"
Please cut that.
No, leave it.
And me, my favorite costume of all time, because again, I was basing this off someone else's costume. I love the Riddler costume that Jim Carrey wears in Batman. I think it's Batman Forever.
Oh, that's the best Batman.
Yeah,
for sure.
His Riddler outfits are so good in those movies. So.
The skin tight green with the question marks all over it.
Yeah, with the big cane. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Wait, did you say in those movies? They didn't make more than one of those, did they?
Sorry, his multiple costumes in that one movie.
Oh, I see. Thank God.
If gravity flipped for people, but no other objects, as in the Earth now repels people, using the objects in your house, do you think you could get to the nearest grocery store?
I've thought about this a lot. This is my go-to, like, I'm bored at school, like, thought experiment.
I didn't think anyone would have ever thought of this, but okay, go ahead.
You lead it. You lead off.
No, I don't think so.
You don't.
Going outside is too dangerous.
But if you had to, like, don't you think you could somehow get a series of, like, ropes to get you maybe into
How are you supposed to do... How? You basically need, like, insane rock climbing tools to already be in your house, and you need a gigantic amount of them. Like, you need a peg every few feet, and you need to, like, chisel it into the cement somehow. You need a cement path the whole way there. You're not entrusting your life to grass. You're going to need a ridiculously long rope. That's just totally infeasible.
So like trees and fences, they'll still be like...
Yeah, they're still normal. The only thing that's pulling upwards is people.
Oh, only people.
So, like, if you can get into your car, I think you're golden. Because even though you're upside down in your car, I think you could make that work.
Oh, yes. Oh. I think you'd crash, to be honest.
How far away does it repel you?
It's like if gravity was reversed. So you know how, like, gravity pulls you to Earth? It's like if it just pulled you up in the air. Like, you're gone. If you ever aren't holding on to anything, you're just gone. Unless you can, like, somehow throw something into the ground to pull you back to it really quick.
No, this is obvious. You just attach a weight to yourself. That's approximately the same weight that you are.
So it counters your weight being pulled up because that weight's pulling down?
And then you basically just glide there.
Whoa!
I would just get Amazon to deliver all my food. I think that'd be the safest way to do it.
Yeah.
When you said if you got to a car, you'd be safe, I thought like how close you'd try to park your car to your house. And you'd probably, even though you're upside down in your car, you'd probably crash your car into your house like every time you came home.
Yeah, precise steering would be tough.
Yeah.
You could like flip yourself from upside down to probably like some weird angle and like put blocks on the pedals and like your arms could reach the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So you could kind of drive still maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna say you probably could get to the grocery store, but you would never actually do that in this scenario. It's way too risky.
No, I don't think you would either, but I think Kirsten's right. Because, I mean, if you think about it in a car, if your car was upside down and you were standing on the ceiling, you could easily reach the pedals and the steering wheel. Like, your car is not...
It's not that big.
If you have no sight.
you would be repelled up to the top of the car, but you'd roll till your back was like against the roof, and
Your legs
you'd have
couldn't
to.
reach.
Well, no, that's what
pedals.
I'm saying. You need some sort of driving boots, like a bunch of.
If you had a couple of broomsticks to
Driving
push on the
pole.
pedals
Right?
and you used your feet on the steering
Oh,
wheel.
like how children drive in movies.
Exactly.
That's what
Gotcha.
I'm thinking.
A second child. You need to bring a child into the car with
Yeah,
you.
okay.
And you'd have to like attach yourself to the steering wheel when you were gonna leave, like rock climbing. And you'd open like the window and then like reach for like the gate at your house or like a bush and then pull yourself inside.
Yeah. It would be really hard to drive because everything would also be backwards because you're upside down.
Yeah.
So the steering wheel would be like driving in reverse.
They'd probably make cars differently eventually.
I don't think they could make cars though, because I don't know how you would buy anything.
Well, in this hypothetical situation, is everyone flipped?
Yeah, everyone's flipped. This is
Okay.
really, it's a situation. It's not like a world where everything's flipped because then nothing makes sense. It's like if
Yeah.
you were flipped,
Just you.
could you get to the
It would have to
grocery
be
store?
just you, or else,
Yeah, because
no one's gonna make it. Everyone's gonna
yeah.
die out within.
And I think with a buddy system, it's
Couple
too
weeks.
easy. I think if there's two people, you can do it pretty easily. You can sort that out somehow.
You think it's easy?
It's easier.
I think you're vastly underestimating how difficult it would be to get to the car.
No, I think it would be difficult, but I think you could figure it out. I mean, for me, in my house, I have a covered porch, so I could get to that, and I could climb down the railing. I'm within 6 feet of the door of my car just by doing that. And all I've had to do is basically, like, shimmy along monkey bars upside down.
Oh yeah, have you ever been on monkey bars recently? Because I have. It's ridiculously way harder when you're like 170 pounds.
Okay, so Stefan's thought about the scenario a lot, and is constantly on monkey bars.
I can't believe how callous you are to think this will be just some kind of cakewalk. It's life and death.
If you made it one time, though, you would set up like a path.
Yeah, if you did it
You
once.
would have the spikes.
Yeah,
already,
you'd have the spikes set up. And you'd like a slack line would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Something you could just hook yourself to, but getting there the first time. And then you're going to get to the grocery store. No one else was going to be there. The place is going to be closed.
And what if the grocery store is like Costco and a warehouse and you go flying to the ceiling? You can't reach anything anyways.
That's true. Basically, every grocery store I can think of, the ceiling is like 40 feet high.
So you'd need like a grabbing pole as well. You'd have to bring like a whole utility kit, I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah, okay. I want to dig in somewhere else a little bit. Okay, you're the only person that's flipped. Can you actually survive and live your life?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? What part of your life is irreparably changed? Like, you can't, like, somehow consume enough liquids or something because your throat's not strong enough.
Yeah, all liquids would have to come through a straw? Does that work?
Intravenously, it would be fine.
You turn your
Yeah.
head sideways.
Because you could use a straw in that scenario.
You could walk on your ceiling.
You could never eat cereal,
You
which would
couldn't
suck.
shower well.
You'd have to, like, have... Well, no, you could shower. If you had, like, a... Well,
It'd have to be
the
in
water
the
would just be
ceiling.
coming from the opposite direction.
You can eat upside down. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Do a handstand and take a bite. You can do
It's
it.
just uncomfortable to
Don't
swallow,
underestimate
for
your
sure.
esophagus.
Yeah, I guess so. I think your stomach would just kill you, though. Because it would constantly, like, the acid would be the opposite way.
Now,
and you'd have the worst
okay,
heartburn.
you gotta have some
always.
ground rules here. Everything that enters you,
I believe we'd have
It's
ceiling
safe.
rules in this situation.
yeah, you have kind of like a aura that everything that's inside you has the
Oh.
same gravity as you.
Yeah.
Clearly, obviously, I thought it was
Obviously.
assumed.
Obviously.
Come on,
Clearly.
Curt.
Yeah, we couldn't make it to our closest grocery store because there's not enough trees. I feel like if there's a lot of trees, you could like maybe throw something tree to tree.
Yeah, reverse
Yeah.
Tarzan.
Yeah.
But what about power lines? You could maybe get there if you could, like...
Our power lines are underground, Kirsten. We're toast.
Some are, but the rest of the street isn't.
Also, there's the electricity concerns,
I mean,
and
that, yes, obviously.
I don't know, like, how much weight power lines are designed to hold. I don't think that.
I mean,
Really
they can
thought
hold a
about that too
squirrel's
much.
weight, so how much more can I weigh?
How many squirrels do you weigh? 187 squirrels.
That's a good question.
I don't think I've ever measured myself in squirrels before.
That'll be a question for a future episode. What is the best Disney song?
First thing I thought of was like "Friend Like Me."
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It just popped in my head. I'm not prepared to defend that, but that's just what the first thing I thought of. So
Toy Story?
no. Aladdin.
Aladdin.
The Genie song.
Never
Yeah,
had a friend.
Robin
Never.
Williams.
Okay, I was thinking
You've Got a Friend in Me
You've Got a Friend in Me.
is
That's what-
amazing.
Pretty good.
Toy Story's Disney too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, it's Disney Pixar. Yeah,
Pixar now is owned by Disney, so
like everything else.
Yeah, we saw the remake of Aladdin, the live action,
Huge
and
mistake.
what?
oh, it was good,
The performance of Prince Ali was
spectacular.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite enjoyable.
I can't support that kind of money grabbing endeavor.
Oh, come on.
It's all money grabs.
It's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could still watch the original one. That's still an option.
Yeah, but it's been done.
Oh boy.
Prince Ali is good.
I like Under the Sea.
Under the
Under the
Sea.
Sea.
Under the
very
Sea is
good.
excellent.
I think that's my favorite Disney song.
Ariel. Down here's your home. That was an Arnold impression, basically. I don't know if you got that.
I was wondering if Arnold played the crab.
It's close enough.
In the live action remake, I'm sure he will.
Oh,
That would be
nice.
great. There's so many. Like, Can You Feel the Love Tonight in The Lion King? Or, like, the one from Tarzan with Phil Collins is really good.
Yeah, you'll be in my heart.
That one's, like, very cute. Tale as Old as Time from Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorites.
See, I prefer Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh,
No way,
yeah.
Gaston.
Gaston
Come on.
is a
That's
classic.
a good song.
whole
Beauty and the Beast, for a movie I don't like as much as most of the other Disney movies, has some really good songs in it.
Great songs
Yeah,
in it.
true.
And everything from The Lion King is amazing.
Yeah, to me, The Lion King's my favorite Disney movie. It has the best soundtrack of all of them.
Hakuna Matata.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful phrase.
It's a way of life, too. So, what other ones? Toy Story is pretty good.
Yeah, Toy Story's got a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, You Got a Friend in Me is really good. Moana and Frozen both had good
Yeah.
soundtracks.
Hits.
Oh, man.
It's bangers.
So
You're
what's-
welcome. That one grew on me fast.
Oh, yeah.
What's your welcome?
With The Rock.
With The
Come
Rock?
Have you not seen Moana?
No.
Oh, you need to watch it tonight.
Tonight.
Tonight. Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Stop the
Stop
ball.
it.
Sorry, this is going to be the shortest episode ever. I have to go watch Moana.
All right, we're back from watching Moana.
Curt, thoughts?
Wow, that was fantastic. The Rock in that song. Thank you. It was so good.
You're welcome. Oh. I was the first time I heard You're Welcome, I was at the gym and I just had like a random playlist on and that song came on and I was like, I just stopped. I was like, is this The Rock? I was like, what is this from? I was
Oh, yeah.
so confused, and then it was like Moana soundtrack. I was like, oh wow, amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. Moana's really good. Yeah, Moana and Frozen were really good. Frozen got old a little bit, though. Yeah, Disney has good music.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's,
Oh, yeah,
here's
no
the
doubt.
thing. There's so many good Disney songs. I kind of would have preferred, although it's a bit negative, for you to have asked us about what the worst Disney songs are.
The worst Disney songs? Well, but they'd probably be from Disney things you never really saw.
But is there anything that's like emphatically bad? Like, oh man, Aladdin's great, but that song, ugh.
I don't think Aladdin's got good music.
No, they're just
All of it.
consistent throughout the board. That was just an example. I can't even
Yeah.
think of anything.
Like, even the villain songs are great. Like, Ursula has a song, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember what it's called. Pretty sure there's a song there.
Oh, Scar's song is so good. in
and
The Lion
Scar's
King.
song is so good.
yes.
And the whole montage of all the hyenas, that's amazing.
Doesn't Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs have some bad music in it?
Oh, I
It's-
can't even think. What's their?
They have like the dwarf song "Hi Ho."
That's a
Oh.
good
That's
one.
a great
though.
one.
I know, that's good. I'm saying, but isn't
Yeah.
there some bad song? Like, is when she's singing to the mirror or something?
The
Isn't-
Wishing Well?
Yeah. I don't know. Hard to think of bad
I think that
Disney-
movie's, like,
Yeah.
too old to be in the same categories.
Yeah, that's where it's tough. Like the older movies.
They're classics. The music probably isn't as good, but it's still good.
Yeah.
It's still childhood.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough. Disney nailed it. What current living person will have the biggest funeral when they die?
Drake.
Queen.
Yeah.
One of the two. One of the two.
Drake or the Queen? So the Queen or the King of Canada?
Oh, my God.
The Queen is probably the correct answer to that
It
question.
would have to be they show their weddings on TV. No one else gets their weddings shown on TV.
Yeah, and she's beloved everywhere. Like for a monarch, pretty much everyone likes her.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Well, what's protocol, though? They would have to follow protocol.
I mean, a queen's never died in my lifetime because she's lived forever, so I have no idea.
What
But
happened when her mom died?
Princess Diana died.
when Princess Diana died, that was
It
a
was
huge
televised.
funeral, and that was televised.
I mean, like parts of it, right?
Yeah, not there's like the parts of going to the church.
Yeah,
and it was
yeah,
like
of course.
I remember hundreds of thousands of people like gathered on the road to
Yeah.
escort the hearse. That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a red carpet kind of thing.
Probably not a red
Carpet
carpet.
event.
No.
Hey, what are you wearing tonight? Yeah, great to come out for the show.
Yeah.
They put it on TV. I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
In some kind of horrible sort
I mean,
of way.
I think it would have to be the Queen, right?
Yeah, I think so. There's nobody else. Because, like, if you look at other people that are, like, huge, like, everyone in Russia would watch, like, Putin's funeral, but nobody else would. Whereas if the Queen died, North America would be all over it, like, all of Europe. Like, that'll be a huge event, especially because she's so old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Not gonna watch it.
No, I wouldn't watch it. Either,
Yeah, not a chance. Okay. Well, that was pretty easy.
What about, like, I think of, like, presidents or
Oprah.
Oprah.
She makes lots of people happy.
That's true.
It has to be someone sufficiently boisterous. I'm sure you're all aware of Hunter S. Thompson had an amazing funeral where he had his ashes shot out of a cannon.
Cool.
That's
So we
true.
need someone else like that, but there's no one around quite like Hunter S.
No.
that can throw a funeral like that.
Well, he didn't throw that funeral. Johnny Depp threw his funeral.
Yes, but at his request.
That's true.
Oh, wow.
But I'm sure that was poorly attended.
Well, sure.
Besides straight Kirsten?
I got nothing. Probably Drake.
Yeah, who's the, like...
We the North.
It's bold to assume anyone's going to care about Drake by the time he's dead.
Dare you?
Well, the person who it could be would have to be someone, because it either has to be the Queen, because she's around forever and old and dies old, or someone who tragically dies young. Could be a big
Right.
deal. So it'd be someone you're not thinking of right now that just, like, dies.
Right.
Like Bieber.
I don't think that many people would.
Not anymore, but if it was like 10 years ago and Bieber died,
Yeah. Well,
I
people
guess
would
so.
just be like, you overdosed.
I'm too old. Who's the new Bieber?
Billie Eilish?
Yeah.
She's huge amongst the youth.
Yeah, but, like, currently.
Yeah.
Was
right.
She's current. What do you-
No. I mean, like, she's currently huge. But she doesn't have the
Track.
longevity to have such a big following. That would be a big...
Yeah, I guess Bieber had a huge following pretty much right away. Because it was Bieber, then One Direction.
Yeah, I know, but
So who is it now?
Billie Eilish doesn't carry that same mantle
No,
of
yeah.
heartthrob for the like teenage girls.
No, exactly.
Who is that right now? There always has to be one.
Shawn Mendes? That's a
Maybe.
name I hear.
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know who that is, but there's commercials for him where he buys coffee as like a 10-year-old.
But he's Canadian. So,
Well, so is Bieber.
yeah, but...
So is Drake.
No, I'm just, like, Shawn Mendes, I don't think is as big as...
Yeah.
I've never heard of them, so
That's saying
a
a lot.
strike
I don't think would be an entertainer, though.
But it would have to be like
for the
but-
funeral.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Obama?
It would have. Well, Obama would be
Obama.
big. Because I think it would have to be a world leader. Like it would have.
Yeah.
Because an entertainer doesn't have nearly the amount of followers.
What's the question again? Most well attended?
Yeah, I said biggest, but most well attended, basically.
Okay, so pick a really populous country.
Like China's president.
Sure.
I don't know his name. I feel like I should.
Is there a lot of unrest in China right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Queen it is.
The Queen.
Wait.
What would make you run the fastest?
Being chased by someone that is... Or something that may kill you.
Yeah, you think running from fear? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, running out of fear.
Good nutrition and training.
Yeah. That's funny.
because yeah, like, and of all the things you're afraid of, which one would be the scariest thing that you'd run the
Do
fastest
you think
from?
that the more scary something is, the faster you run from it? At a certain point, you would freeze in terror and not run at all.
I don't think so. I think you would just run. You would take off.
Yeah,
Not
like,
me. I'm a coward.
I think if a bear was chasing me, I would be very, very fast because I do not want to get ripped apart by a bear.
Are you going top speed here?
Yeah.
Because if you're being chased by a bear, odds are you're not going to have good footing to reach a really fast speed. So
Because you're in the forest.
Okay,
obviously.
fair enough. You really analyze this one.
ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer.
I guess the big thing, if it's going to be an animal, a bear actually would be a good one. I wouldn't be as afraid of being chased by a predator. Because predators kill you immediately. Whereas like an animal that's going to play with you, that's an animal I'd be way more afraid of.
Yeah, you'd be alive for that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Omnivores are worse.
It'd be terrifying just because, like, you would have to slow down at some point because you wouldn't be able. How far will your adrenaline take you? That's what you don't know.
Exactly. And there's something that would make it far. Like, maybe it's a fireball. If there's a fireball going after you, maybe you're just, like, sprinting from that. Or, like, a building that's collapsing. Maybe that's the fastest you're going to run. Because you think you can actually get away.
It doesn't sound like you can.
I think you're always going to run like you
Yeah.
can get away. Regardless of
Run.
what was chasing you. If you thought the best way to get away was to run, you're going to run no matter what. Even if you have no chance of getting away, you're still going to run.
That's true. I guess in every disaster movie ever where there's like a 40-foot tidal wave,
Yeah.
the people are still like jumping over cars, and it's like, you're never going to make
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's like, I'm just going to wait this one out.
So it's just adrenaline, right, that makes you run fast?
I think it's
Essentially.
a combination of two things. It's adrenaline, but I think there's a thing about not thinking that makes you run faster. Like for me, I am at my fastest when there's a football in the air that I'm trying to catch. Because my brain turns off and you just run like, okay, I have to catch up to that object. And I'm definitely faster chasing down a ball in the air than I would be if I was running on a track thinking.
Yeah, but are you as fast as you would be if you were running from a bear?
See, and that's what I don't know.
Faster.
You probably should be overthinking it.
Yeah, because it depends if you're thinking about running or you're not thinking at all. Because if you're terrified, do you think too much or do you not think at all?
You'd be caught off guard. I feel like you would start running. If you're not, like if you happen upon the bear first, you wouldn't run because you'd be like, the bear hasn't seen me yet, I can get away. Then you'd probably start thinking, you'd step on a twig, make a sound, the bear would see you, then you'd take off and stop thinking.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think because adrenaline makes you not thinking. That's why, like, when someone is like super angry, they behave like an animal because they're not thinking.
Do you normally think when you run, like, left foot, right foot, left foot, right
You do when you're running on a track. If you're being timed and you're running a 100-meter
Yeah.
dash, you start, and then like 3 seconds in, you're like,
You're thinking if you're like, am I technically running correctly?
yeah, and you're like, am I driving off the ground right? Because
Yeah.
I always slow down like halfway through a race because I'm thinking about it. Whereas if I'm chasing somebody, I'm faster because I'm like, I just got to catch them, and I don't think as much.
It's the same, like if you do a 10K run or something, you see like I have another K to go, or you're like, oh God, there's the halfway mark. I have 5 more K and I'm dying and I'm so tired. But if you had to run 10K with a bear chasing you, I feel like you'd do it a little bit faster.
You might only make
No,
it
no
1K
doubt.
before you get caught up to, but
This sounds like a great reality show. 10K with a bear.
Yeah, I think you would definitely run your fastest from fear.
Okay.
You just give me a great thought. Imagine if reality shows were popular back in the day when there was no standards of safety for TV shows. Oh my God, they would be so much better.
Well, that's basically what gladiators were. Gladiators had put them in a pit with animals to fight or other people to fight to the death. They'd reenact famous battles. Like, that's what it was.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
but they didn't put them in like super contrived scenarios. Like,
They really did.
okay, you know what? There probably was like, ooh, run from this lion or die.
Yeah, that was definitely a gladiator thing.
I didn't make it.
Did they ever
Yo.
beat them? Did they ever win?
Yeah, sometimes because it would be like theater, but also like war and death and bloody.
It's like matadors.
Yeah, exactly. Matadors are like modern day gladiators.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that would be
Yeah.
it. Maybe it'd be your fastest if you were in Spain running from the bulls.
Those
That's-
cobblestone streets, though, man.
But you see when those people like realize that they're in a bad spot and they dart for the wall to try to jump over, that's the fastest you ever see people move.
Yeah. That's out of fear, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be
But
fear.
there's always one guy just taking it way not seriously enough.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm so used to being safe in everything I do in life. This is a tourist event. I'll be fine. And then 10
Damn,
feet
he's
in
gored.
the air. And you're like, cool.
So dumb.
Hey, that's my friend. Gourd. Was that joke unbearable?
That's just a different animal altogether.
This question was submitted by Chara. You can only either wear underwear or socks for the rest of your life. Which do you choose? And this isn't as your entire outfit. You just get one or the other. You can still wear your clothes on top of it.
Definitely socks. Because I like keeping my feet warm. I don't need underwear to keep my crotch warm.
Yeah.
Question over. Next,
Well,
next
as a
question.
female, I think underwear is probably the safer bet. So I'm going to go underwear.
Wear a second pair of pants. I don't know.
When you say underwear, are you assuming bra as well?
No.
Okay.
I'm assuming only underwear. Bra is a separate garment.
Yeah, I'm going to say not bras because then it's, as a woman,
Do they not consider that underwear?
That's a
it,
2 for
it
1.
is, but
Different.
Okay.
I think I'd go with underwear.
There are people who just free ball it anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I think if I couldn't wear underwear, I'd cut out jeans.
Yeah, you don't want
Right?
chafing
Yeah, you
of
wouldn't wear
that
jeans.
magnitude.
Sweatpants.
I wear shorts so often and I play so many sports that I could do that without socks, but without underwear, that's weird.
It'd be uncomfortable, like, when you're running. That's for sure. No
Yeah,
underwear.
man. Yeah, but no socks would also be grossly uncomfortable.
No, I've gone without socks before.
Yeah,
It's not
for
that weird.
athletics, they're both like awful. I put on shoes like in the summer just to go outside, and my feet sweat. It's a terrible feeling. You know, with no socks on, I had no underwear.
I would wear sandals. I feel like a lot.
Yeah, I could see that. But like, yeah, playing sports, if you were to wear cleats with no socks, that would be tough because cleats are just very uncomfortable.
Yep.
But no underwear would be so uncomfortable too.
Yeah, Stefan's
true.
point of socks just to keep you warm, I think, is very key and being overlooked because in the winter months, I'll just put on a warmer pair of socks and that makes a world of difference.
It doesn't make a difference for me
Totally.
though. As a girl with poor circulation, I'll just blanket has to be a blanket or 2 pairs of socks or like slippers over top of socks. It's the only way to do it. So I think underwear.
Look, okay, the difference between underwear and like athletic shorts versus the difference between socks and any shoe.
I don't understand your point.
Like, shorts are not that different than underwear. Athletic shorts.
But they're not as tight.
So you're saying you're just
you
gonna
could just get a size down. I don't know.
you're gonna wear shorts in place of underwear?
Not necessarily.
Well, because then it would be underwear. I
but
think.
comfort-wise.
Well, yeah, you couldn't wear a pair of shorts and then like another pair of shorts.
Yeah, that wouldn't be allowed because then
No.
it's just underwear.
I'm basically walking around in shorts all the time
We should all
for
have to
comfort
go.
reasons.
Everyone should go a weekend with wearing no socks for a weekend, and then no underwear for a weekend.
Yeah, see what happens.
I would hate no socks. I just know the
Yeah,
feeling of not.
agreed.
You would buy different shoes.
For sure.
Yeah,
You could, but what shoe even is acceptable?
Oh, I'll tell you a shoe that's totally fine with no socks. I wear my shoes without socks constantly because they're just slippers.
It'd be more of a slipper style, and some shoes.
Okay, that is clearly a cheating.
The Nike
To
knit,
wear slippers?
the Nike knit fit like socks.
Some shoes now have like almost built-in socks.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
They kind of like elastic around like your ankle.
Yeah.
So you would only buy those type of shoes.
Are they like those shoes in Back to the Future where you press a button and it just like shrinks onto your foot?
No, the fly knits. Or just some like comfy slip-on sneakers. I think girls have way more options for shoes because I have sneakers that I don't wear with socks.
Well, girls constantly like heels and like flats.
Yeah.
You quite often wear without socks.
Yeah. So I would have no problem.
Yeah,
not
but
wearing socks.
heels and flats are, well, heels at least, are grossly uncomfortable, are they not?
Yeah. Well, sometimes it depends because if you have wedges, you could wear those way longer.
Sandals and flip-flops would become like your everyday.
Yes.
That's true.
Shoe, right?
Everyone knows someone who wears like flip-flops in the winter. You're like,
Yeah.
what is happening with you?
You're cold, sir. You are cold.
You're fooling no one. Okay, can I come back to the slippers comment? Because what are slippers if not just like extremely thick socks?
Well, but mine are clearly a shoe.
Well, they
Like,
have
they've
shoe
got a
bottoms.
sole.
Okay.
I'm not walking around in socks all day. I'm not an animal. This is a pretty good question from Chara. She managed to split the room. So we got 2 people who are going to be wearing socks and 2 people who are going to be wearing underwear.
I'm not even wearing underwear right now.
Well, glad we got to the bottoms of this.
Oh no. Stop with the puns. So bad.
You either have access to all forms of media that have ever been made up until this point, or you can only watch media that hasn't been made yet. Which do you pick?
I take the old stuff.
Like movies, music, TV.
Yeah, movies, music, TV, all of that stuff.
I feel like you'd have, yeah, the old stuff would be way better because the new stuff is garbage and remakes and.
But then you can never be current with pop culture. And if some show or something comes out and it's
Oh,
like, this is the
please.
greatest show of all time, you'll never get to
I
see
have
it.
lost all hope of keeping up with pop culture already. Okay, I'm in my 30s now. Once you hit 30, that's it. You're donezo. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
It's over for you. You will never be cool
But
ever again.
But then you can still,
Ever.
like, never go to a movie theater with your friends.
Okay, I don't do that anyways because I'm in my 30s.
That's true. Okay, I haven't been to a movie theater in a long time.
The ratio of time I spend doing old things versus current things, it's ridiculous. I would lose so much. Maybe it'll be good for me, actually. To be honest, I spend a little bit too much time
It sounds like you
on
should
old media.
switch.
Yeah, okay. I talked myself out of it.
Well, especially because to me, I feel like there'd be a crushing feeling if you pick the old stuff, where everything you watch would just get worse because you'd find the best stuff first, And then it'd be like, well, there's never going to be a new thing that comes out where you're like, oh, this is amazing. It's just going to get worse and worse. Or you're just going to keep rewatching the same things. I mean, the problem with the new stuff, I feel like everyone in this room has a constant rotation where they watch, like, The Office and Parks and Rec and, like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine or maybe, like, Community or one of those shows. Like, there's a rotation where, like, every, like, 2 or 3 years, they're like, I'm going to rewatch that series.
Yeah, it'd be tough knowing what you're giving up.
Yeah.
As opposed, being in the position, like, hoping new stuff comes out. I don't really go back and watch that much old
TV or movies.
TV but I would be too disappointed knowing that I wouldn't be able. I mean, I couldn't give it up knowing I can never go back.
Well, and think of the music.
Yeah, so I would just, knowing what is already out there, I would take that as opposed to just hoping for the future of.
Yeah, there's enough entertainment out there where you're like, at least I know I like a bunch of this stuff.
Yeah.
I have 2 parts. First of all, personally, I very much love nostalgia. So I like old things already. But aside from that, I'm quite convinced that there's enough media that already exists that I've never seen to satiate me forever, basically, if I really needed to seek it out. There's so many things that I've heard of this like a million times, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, no, a million other things I want to watch. Like, there's infinite content out there to consume at this point.
Yeah, people tell me, like, oh, you should see this show, I'm watching this, and I never actually go and
I'm always like, oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I've never seen, like, any of it. I'm just not a fan of going back and watching stuff that's old either, but I don't think I'd be disappointed knowing that was my only option. Because then I would go back and watch.
For you, though, sports.
Oh, I can't watch sports.
You can't watch
I guess sports is media.
Oh, well then, yeah, get rid of all the old TV.
Yeah, it has to be the new stuff.
There you go.
Right, yeah, because sports is media. I didn't even think about that, but...
Yeah, then
it's a big one.
You can live in the future.
I would let future sport go. Future sports.
Yeah, because you'd still get future sport.
Yeah.
That's from, like,
I will
the
be
90s.
watching future sport while you watch your sports in the future.
What's interesting about this, too, is if you picked new stuff, like if you pick old stuff, I have from now forever back of content. But if I pick new stuff tomorrow, I only have anything that came out tomorrow. Like the first year would be really hard because you only have stuff that's come out.
Oh no!
Because you only have a year's worth of content for the first year, and then the second year there's only 2 years worth of stuff. So you'd have to rebuild the whole library of content that exists.
Oh, that's actually awful.
That is true. Although September is usually the time most TV shows start again, so there should be quite a bit of new content out soon.
But, like, how many things are you even going to be able to start in season 1 of?
Well, that's true. Anything that's already had, like, a first season, you're like, I can never watch the first season.
That's true. I think I'm still going to go with the old stuff, though.
I think I'm also going to go with the old stuff. If you take my old movies and told me I could never watch them again, I don't know. And my old TV shows, like, it'd probably be better for me, because then I'd go back and rewatch things that I've been meaning to rewatch, but instead I watch new garbage. And also, I think the music is the biggest aspect.
Yes.
Every artist I listen to doesn't make music anymore, basically.
Wait, last week you pretty much said you don't care for music.
I don't. It's not a huge thing in my life. Like, I'm saying I could cut music out, but I listen to way more old music than new music.
The new music is mostly garbage.
I definitely listen to a lot
In
more
the
music
genres that I
that
listen
currently
to.
exists than music that hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, strictly for sports.
True for everyone. Okay.
Strictly for sports, I'd have to watch the future of media because sports take up definitely the majority of my TV watching.
All of it.
Now, is there any forms of media that we could be neglecting here?
If VR takes off or augmented reality or any of those kind of things, you'll never be able to watch like a show where you put on a thing and you're in the show. When that comes out in like 10 years, you'll never be able to get that.
Oh, man.
But I don't care.
You could follow, like you could look at news stuff and like newspapers and you could go on the internet and read.
Well, yeah,
Right.
like, exactly. Yeah, you could. You'd still have like the news and stuff. I guess you wouldn't get books.
Oh.
You'd never get a new book.
But
there's
so many.
There's an
old
infinite amount of
books.
books already.
Yeah.
Wait, so I still get to go on the internet?
No,
But you
like,
can't watch anything.
Yeah, you couldn't go to YouTube. Like you could watch old YouTube, but you couldn't
But I
watch.
still get to read the comments on the YouTube video.
I get what you're saying. You can watch old porn. You can't watch new porn.
Yeah,
I understand what your angle is here.
and you could watch up to like. You could listen to like the first 15 episodes of the podcast,
Okay.
but you wouldn't get any of the future podcast.
Including this one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I guess it depends when that line is. I guess it's going to be released after we record it, so. Okay, so continuing on with the segment we're now introducing in Season 2, I've got an expression here, and I'm interested if you guys can guess the origin of it. So the expression I went with this week is, break the ice. You know, you need to meet a new person, you're going to go and break the ice. Where did that expression come from?
Well, it's metaphorical, right? See, the ice represents the tension between two people when they first meet. They don't know anything about each other, right? Someone's got to make the first move to get to the water, get to a more fluid place, break the barrier, boom, you're in. The ice is broken, you know a little bit about the other person. You can relax.
So you're breaking their frigid demeanor.
Yeah, into their frigid, icy waters where you freeze to death.
Introductions seem hard in your world.
They are.
Unfortunately, that's not the correct answer.
Oh.
Break the ice.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it means, but the origin...
It's like when you had to go get ice somewhere. I don't know where you would get ice.
At the ice store.
At the ice store. You'd have to send the new guy to go and break off a piece of the ice.
Oh,
You had to bring it back, so...
Is it like because they didn't used to make ice cubes, they only made giant ice, large ice
yeah, like ice blocks.
blocks, and
Okay.
it's so difficult. So it's more about how difficult doing something is than it is about meeting someone. And
Yeah, so you have to put yourself out there to be like, meeting new people is hard, just like breaking ice.
Just
it's
like
hard. It's
crushing ice.
And because you're not getting the access to the whole person, you're just chipping off little blocks at a time as you get to know them.
I like that too. Good call. Way
Yeah,
to-
what he said.
Here's another thing it could realistically be, which is an icebreaker is like a ship which will break ice ahead of a larger ship, right?
Yeah.
To clear the way, essentially.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it could be that. It's like, oh, okay, here, steer your way into this new relationship. I don't know.
The actual root of the expression break the ice is back in the day, there'd be a lot of ships traveling to port cities,
Boom.
and on their way there in the winter months, they would send out from the city icebreakers to break the ice for the vessel coming in because they knew the pathway, so they'd break the ice for them and then lead them back to shore.
There you go.
Boom.
Got there.
Nailed it.
Nice, Stefan. Break the ice, not a giant cube. Next time.
Next time.
Oh, hey, thanks for listening to the On Point List podcast. It was sick. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. We're almost up to 3 subscribers, yo. Once we're at 5 subscribers, we'll be releasing our 5 subscriber special where we take, we'll send you t-shirts. Okay, see you next time.
Editor's note, we will not be sending t-shirts. Bye.